Yes, it's a Monday. I know you're excited to hear that. But as always, thank you for listening to Headbangers and Hooligans. It's yours truly, your favorite podcaster in the entire world, Scummalicious. And let's make this Monday more exciting. I guarantee you this podcast is going to be a lot more exciting and entertaining than Monday Night Football. Or at least, let's hope so. Anyway, 10 epic albums, and I picked the word epic because that's what the kids use. I can't use legendary or classic. Words like that, you have to use epic because you got to stay cool with the kids. Or try anyway. But I did pick these 10 albums. They're 10 albums that I've mentioned before, but I've never really dove into and gave my honest opinion about. And when I mean honest, going to be objective. I'm not going to totally just suck on its balls or totally trash it if I hate it. Just be honest about it. Tell you what I like, what I didn't like, if I think it's as good as it, or at least how everybody perceives it. Except for one. There's one album on this list, after listening to a couple of songs, there's a reason why I fucking can't stand it. I can't lie. There's one album on this, out of these 10, that it's just, I'm sorry, it's going to be a total suck fest. But I've got something for the Headbangers, and I've got something for the Hooligans. 5 heavy metal albums and 5 punk albums. And I'm telling you, all these albums, we can call them big. I'm calling them big because everybody perceives them that way. And let's see how Scummalicious perceives them. That's the most important opinion, right? Absolutely. All right, let's get into it. First album, Misfits, Walk Among Us. Now, why did I pick this particular Misfits album? Because it's the one that going online, reading about, seeing on YouTube, this is the one that everybody's like, this is the quintessential Misfits album. And I know there's a couple more that some other fans like better than this one, but this is the one that is seen as like, hey, if you've never listened to the Misfits, this is the album you need to buy first, okay? That's the way I see it, all right? If you're a Misfits fan, you can disagree with me and say, hey, fuckface, what are you talking about? This album is the one you should review. Anyway, this is what I'm starting with. Came out in 1982 on Ruby Records, which is a division of Slash Records. Not Slash, the guitars for Guns N' Roses, but Slash, the record label. 20 Eyes in My Head starts off with that track. Second track, I Turned Into a Martian. We get a lot of the whoa, woo. You get a lot of that with Glenn Danzig on these Misfits albums. Night of the Living Dead, Devil's Whorehouse, Astro Zombies, Brain Eaters. It's kind of the same theme that you get with all the Misfit albums. The horror punk thing, right? It's scary, and there's aliens, and people are getting stabbed, and you're in the cemetery, and there's evil and darkness surrounding you. Not hating on it, okay? I'm just giving you the themes. And this album here, Jerry Only's on bass, Doyle's on guitar, who's playing with him now, and the drummer, sorry hardcore Misfits fans, forget the drummer. But what really stands out on this album, and I'm not going to lie, is the vocals. Glenn Danzig. Not a huge Glenn Danzig fan. Not going to get into that. Like I said, this is not a hater podcast. But the whole woo, whoa thing, yeah. What do you want to say? It's Elvis meets punk, I guess, is what I'm saying. The vocals. They're unique. That's what stands out on this entire album to me. Everything else is kind of a wash. I'm not hating. Okay, I understand. What are you talking about? Just the guitars, little, just fuzzy, sloppy sounding guitars to me. Can't really hear the bass, the drums, kind of the same through every song. And I get it. This is, Misfits are looked upon as a legendary band. Wasn't my thing, but I'm not hating on them. I see their little niche that they had. But to me, what really makes this whole album stand out, and to me, the entire band, is Glenn Danzig, and it's his vocals. They are unique, especially for this kind of music. So for that alone, all right, I'm going to give Walk Among Us, and we're going to do 1 out of 10 on each album. I'm going to give it a 6.5. Just because the vocals and the songs are catchy. But I think the production kind of sucks. I'm just being honest, giving you my honest opinion. All right? Doyle would smash me in a fight, obviously. He looks like he could bench press 500 fucking pounds. But just other than the vocals, I'm not blown away. But I give respect where respect is deserved. All right, second album. I did a punk album, so the second album is going to be a metal album. One for the hooligan. Now we go to the headbangers. Slayer, Rain and Blood, came out in 1986. And of course, it starts right off with the Angel of Death. This song, if anybody's into thrash music, heard about this song forever. When I first started listening to thrash music, back when I was 17, in my mommy's basement, and I was masturbating. I'm just kidding. But, like the lyrics, right? It starts right... Well, first off, it starts off with this... It's 100,000 miles an hour. It's like... And then Tom Araya, bass player, singer... Wow! What I can't do his little scream. And then he gets in the lyrics, Auschwitz, the meaning of pain, the way I want you to die. A lot of, references to the Holocaust. You get Piece by Piece, the song Piece by Piece, Jesus Saves, Criminally Insane, Postmortem, Satanic, Death, Holocaust. We're not talking an album that's going to make you want to jump up and do jumping jacks. If you're listening to it, it's 100,000 fucking miles an hour. It's almost too fast. Can I say this? Is it okay to say this? I know Slayer fans would be like, what the fucking pussy? But seriously, some of these songs are so fast. His lyrics can't even keep up with the music. He's got to really say them really fast to keep up with the music. I get it. And another thing, for this time era, I get it. People put this in like, holy fucking shit, I've never heard anything as crazy as this shit. What is Lombardo on? Dave Lombardo, the drummer. It's more than just methamphetamine. It's methamphetamine with a tad bit of cocaine, and then sprinkle a little effort in on top of it. There you go. I mean, 1,000 fucking miles an hour on drums. It's inhuman. Of course, you got Jeff Hanneman and that asshole Kerry King. Sorry, he's still an asshole in my book. Both just that, even Kerry King. It's at warp speed. I just don't. When I hear it, I don't think it's as good as South of Heaven. Can I say that? I think South of Heaven is way better. I think it sounds better. It's slowed down. I think they're a little bit better when they're slowed down a little bit. I get it. That's what got them as Slayer. 1,000 miles an hour. But when they slow down a little bit, and we hear the thickness of the guitar and the bass and Tom Araya's voice, not having to speak the words really fast. Like this when he's got to say the words really fast. So go with the music. And it's way faster than that. The way I just said that. I just think they sound better. I do. That's just me personally. Is it a horrible album? I don't think it's horrible. But as far as an epic album, I just don't think it's their best. I get it. I see why people hold it up high as a legendary album because it came out in 1986. But for me, I'll take South of Heaven. I'll give it a 6 just because it's a groundbreaking record and the people playing on it sound inhuman. Now it's nothing. You got guys playing like this all the time at warp speed, but yeah. So first 2 epic albums, and I feel like I'm being a dick, but I'm being honest here. I'm not trashing these records. I'm just giving you an honest opinion. Third epic album, Clash, London Calling. Came out in 1980. I have this on cassette, by the way. How do you think I feel about this? Well, I'll tell you. I don't get this album. I never have. I've listened to this album over and over, trying to get why it's just held in such high regard. Get the title track. Ding, 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 ding. Boo-doo-doo-doo. London Calling. Rudy Cottrell. Jimmy Jazz. Brand New Cadillac. Yeah, Clamp Down. The one song on here that really fucking bothers me, can I be honest? All lost in the supermarket, no longer can I believe. It's just like, what? I get it. This is an entirely different album than the earlier stuff because everybody's like, The Clash, one of the greatest punk bands of all time. This is not a punk album. It's got everything. It's got disco, reggae, funk, jazz, rock. It's all over the map. Can I use the word? It's an ambitious record. Well, ambitious to me is also means not great, but that's just my opinion. Guns N' Brixton, Four Horsemen, just these songs don't reach out and grab you. They just don't to me. The best song on the album, to me, is the hidden track. You say you stand by your man. I got something you don't understand. Train in Vain, the hidden track. It's the best song on the album. It really is. Not hating on Joe Strummer or Mick Jones. And there's like 23 songs on this album. And you've got maybe 3 that are good. And just the rest are just kind of meh. I'm just being honest. It's a 5. It's a 5 to me. A 5 out of 10. Doesn't make it horrible, but it definitely doesn't make it epic. Number 4. Did a Hooligan album, so we're back to the headbangers. Got to switch off each one, right? Remember? Black Sabbath Paranoid came out in 1970, and I cannot believe I've never really dove into this album. Let's remember that Tony Iommi, guitarist for Black Sabbath, invented the evil chord off of Black Sabbath, their debut. Bow, bow, now, you know, the little half step. He goes from a G to a, whatever you want to call it, F sharp to, G flat. I don't know what chord exactly it is, but he created the evil chord. When you hear that, you're like, holy shit, that is fucking Black Sabbath, and that shit sounds evil. That influenced so many fucking bands. When I was younger, I did not realize how influential this band was on, the metal bands that I grew up on. But Paranoid, holy fucking shit. 3 3 of their greatest songs that they've ever written are on this album. It only had 8 songs. Okay, including an instrumental. So you basically had 7 songs. Instrumentals, take them or leave them, for the most part. I think everybody will agree with me on that. But seriously, Iron Man, Paranoid, War Pigs. 3 amazing songs. Even if you're burnt out on them, like, okay. But they have other songs, which they do. But those, to have 3 of those out of the 8, fucking amazing. Plus you got Fairies Wear Boots. Totally underrated song from them to close out the show. If you haven't heard that, please go listen to it. It's on YouTube. But you got Ozzy Osbourne. Those vocals, pretty unique. Tony Iommi. Geezer Butler, Bill Ward. This is where heavy metal started. Right here. This band. Without a doubt. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Argue with me. All right. Yeah, everybody. Oh, the first, whatever. This was the first heavy metal band. This is what started it all. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a fucking amazing. My bad. I forgot how great this album was. And this was after their first one, which was fucking amazing. But I'm telling you, Paranoid. It's a great album. And it's a 10. It is. It's a fucking 10. Fucking Black Sabbath. All dark and heavy and depressing. Total opposite of Led Zeppelin. Go ahead. Smoke that pot and sit in your castle and look at the flowers and birds in the field. Fuck you. Give me some Black Sabbath. Dark, heavy, depressing, satanic. You know? Probably going out on the streets to score some coke and get some hookers. I'm being silly, but seriously, Black Sabbath, shit, great album. Number 5, Back to the Hooligans. That's how we roll. Bad Religion, Suffer. Personally for me, and there's going to be some people that disagree with me, hardcore Bad Religion fans, I think Stranger Than Fiction is their best album. Yes, the album that had I'm a 21st century digital boy. Yeah, that video. Oh, I'm sure some would say that's where they sold out. But that's a great album, actually. Go back, listen to it. Television with Tim Armstrong sings on that, of Rancid. The title track, Stranger Than Fiction, is great. I just think it's awesome. Plus, I have it on cassette. I love that word. And I love saying it. I love telling people, hey, I got that on cassette. What you got it on? Oh, digital. Lame. But anyway, Suffer. I hear about this all the time. Suffer, Bad Religion. That's the album that turned me back in 1988. We get 1,000 More Fools, lead off track, When, Give You Nothing, title track, Do What You Want, which I love. Do What You Want. I actually have that on a compilation album. Love the part that says, I sit on my ass all goddamn day, break all the fucking rules, which is, yeah, totally punk. Like, yeah. But when I hear it, it's like, wow, I get it. It's got that. I get we're strung out. Like, they listened to Bad Religion. They took Bad Religion and then took it up a couple steps. But Greg Graffin, the lead singer for Bad Religion, great singer. What a voice. Like, you listen to him and you're like, holy shit, this dude can sing. Some of these punk singers are like, okay, can we not have to listen to you and just listen to the music? But this guy can really sing. They always have something to say. Get that fast-paced music. Some of their newer stuff I'm not a big fan of. And not all these songs really reach out and grab you. But when you listen to it, I get it. I can hear a little bit of Strung Out, a little bit of Pulley, a little bit of Lagwagon, Millencolin, these bands that I talk about ad nauseum that people are like, who the fuck is that? Yeah, Bad Religion. I get it. And when I listen to this, I think about my boy Brett Gurewitz. I don't know if he played on this album. Guitarist. Pretty sure he did. And now he runs Epitaph Records. What happened, my friend? What happened? Because none of them fucking bands you got on your label sound like this. Not even close. Just saying. So, yeah. Bad Religion, Suffer, I'm going to give it a 7. Even though none of the songs are just amazing. I get it. I get the inspiration for some of the other bands. See, I'm doing good. I'm not, even if I don't love it, I'm not totally trashing it. Number 6, Judas Priest, British Steel. What's up, headbangers? This is kind of an iconic album when people talk about Judas Priest. But a lot of hardcore Judas Priest fans will give you 10 different albums. Like if you grab 10 Judas Priest fans, I bet you every single one of them would give you an album that's a different album that's their favorite. I picked this because this is the one that's like, oh, British Steel, you got to get this one. This is the one you got to get, right? This is the epic album, so to speak. But it does start off with Breaking the Law, which is, you know, that guitar riff is Glenn Tipton, KK Downing, the duo. What's funny when I listen to Judas Priest now, with the exception of a couple albums, because growing up, Judas Priest was always compared to Iron Maiden. Come on, those are two totally different bands. And I like them both in their own way. Iron Maiden blows Judas Priest out of the water. Sorry, Judas Priest fans. Not even close to the same band. Yeah, you got the dual guitars, but they ain't the dual guitars Iron Maiden going 100,000 miles an hour. They ain't playing The Trooper. They ain't playing Wasted Years. Judas Priest ain't playing Run to the Hills, Number of the Beast, Purgatory, Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, and I'm not hating on them, but they both have their own sound. They're kind of, even though they're the new wave of British heavy metal, they're two totally different bands. But this is more just a catchy hard rock album, really, when you listen to it all the way through. Breaking the Law, Rapid Fire, Grinder. Which is kind of lame, by the way. I think it's one of the lamest songs on the album. And every good band is... It's okay to have a lame song. Judas Priest can have a lame song. They've earned that right. United. Love the chorus on that. It's Rob Halford. Dude can hit every note in the fucking universe. So we're not surprised there. I mean, Living After Midnight. Living after midnight. Rock it till the dawn. Love 'em till the morning. I'm gone. Now, I've said this before. Little did we know he's singing about a guy. Because we all know Rob Halford is gay. Which, by the way, gives him more balls than anybody else, because a heavy metal lead singer that was gay back in the fucking 70s and 80s. We're not talking about today where... Could you... Hell, I was talking about movies that need to be made. Rob Halford. What the fuck was I thinking? How could I forget about him? Seriously, though. Steeler's a good song, too. But all in all, as an epic album, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I like it. It's good. Got some good songs. But it's just not, like, when I don't hear Judas Priest. I don't hear that these crazy guitars like on Defenders of the Faith or Screaming for Vengeance, which makes sense because this was before those albums. But I'm just saying, it's more like a hard rock album, which is okay because the songs are catchy, but it's not the new wave of British heavy metal that I'm picturing in my head, which is okay. But yeah, as far as an epic album, 7.5. That's what we're going with on that. Judas Priest. You hooligans. I'm going to surprise you with this one. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Blink 182, Enema of the State. Going to the early 2000s on this one. Got to do some of the old, got to do some of the new, right? It starts off with Dumpweed. She's a dog, she's a fucking nightmare, and then I don't want to stay there. I want a girl that can play. I need a girl that I can train. Yes, Tom DeLonge had that voice that kind of grates on you. Makes you want to pick out pieces of bone out of your spine and shove them in your fucking ear. But think about the Blink-182 now compared to back then. Yeah, not so bad, is it? I'm being honest here. They had a guitar in the band. It wasn't these choruses where they echo and it's a giant chorus and you can predict every... Well, it's still a little predictable, but not as predictable as it is today. They were just a better band back then in my book. Yes, I'm defending Blink-182. It starts out with Dumpweed. We get Aliens Exist. No, it must be late. Because it feels like yesterday. I'm not like you. And we all, you guys, sorry, didn't finish the line. But we all know Tom DeLonge's obsessed with aliens. And now they think about it, hey, back in that time, you got a dude singing about aliens. Kind of different. Never thought about it at the time, but it's like, okay. Ding, 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 ding. They had the video. I sat alone. It was a Friday night. I might have fucked that up. I sat alone to get the feeling right. I took off my pants. And that's when I turned on the TV. And that's about the time she walked away from me. Because nobody likes you when you're 23. And I get it. It's like, okay. That fucking... All the Small Things is the worst fucking song on the album. Should have never even been a hit. All the small things, truth cares, truth brings. I'll take one look, your eyes, best friend. Okay, it's just, yeah, it's fucking like, really? Who the fuck decided to release this song as a single and make this a video? Horrible idea. But like the last song is good on there, Anthem. Good things come to those who wait, 'cause she laid me. I listened to the album. Some of the lyrics are just stupid. You know, you take out all the small things. Adam's song, I don't like because it sounds like every song they've ever recorded up to this point. Ding, 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 ding. I spilled the milk on the wall. You never knew. Yeah, I'm fucking up all the words, but you know what I'm getting. That one chord progression. Mama said there would be much better days, you know. And I'm not hating on it because it's a song about suicide. I'm just saying, I like take out all the small things, and that song, it's really not a bad album. And I'm not a huge fan of Travis Barker, but he brings it on this album. The fucking drums are like unbelievable. Fucking warp speed. Okay? And you can see where some of these other bands get influenced by this album. Do I love this album? No, I don't. But as far as an epic album, I got to give it an 8. I gave Blink-182 a fucking 8. I did. Because I listened to it. some of the shit just drives me fucking crazy, but I can see where some of the other bands listen to it like, hey, I'm going to start a band. It's the truth, people. So there you go. And listen, what's his face? Skiba. It's not the same. Blink-182 is not the same without DeLonge. You got to have that fucking alien worshiping goofball back in the band to make them sound good. I'm just saying. All right, number 8. Back to the Headbangers' Death. The band Death. And I went with their 1990... excuse me. No worries. It was just a lung that I coughed up. Their 1991 debut, Scream Bloody Gore. Why did I pick this one? Because we're talking about the godfather of death metal, pretty much. I shouldn't say godfather of death metal. I can only use that word with one person, the actual godfather. He's here on the south side. And I'm not going to tell you where he lives. Because something bad would happen to me if I gave you his address. But anyway, Chuck Schuldiner. Am I pronouncing that right? If I'm not, I apologize. This is considered the first death metal album. I listened to the Possessed album because I read on the internet. This was either the first death metal album or that Possessed album is a black metal album to me. That's just my opinion, okay? My opinion. Everybody, you don't listen to it, so you don't know. You're right, I don't, but that's just my opinion. All right, but this first Death album, the band Death, Chuck Schuldiner played lead guitar, rhythm guitar, was the vocalist, and played bass. And then the drummer was Chris Reifert. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I got to tell you, the reason I appreciate it a little more than the death metal bands now is because it's not the growling. It's not the Cookie Monster vocals. It's more yelling and screaming. I know what you're saying. Oh, so yelling and screaming is way better than growling and farting. Yeah, in my book. And it's raw. Came out in 1991, so we know there wasn't a lot of shit out like that. Well, that we had heard. And a lot of people consider he's the man. But you listen to him on guitar, holy shit, yeah. Dude can shred, there's no doubt about that. Do I love the music? I don't. I do love some of the song titles. Zombie Ritual, Denial of Life, Evil Dead. Gotta love that title, the movie. And how about Regurgitated Guts? Yeah. Now we know we're talking death metal if you got a song called Regurgitated Guts, right? But you could definitely tell, like early days, it's a raw recording, because now the way that the shit is recorded, it just sounds. I've talked about the drums, and it's just some of it sounds so manufactured. It does to me. That's just my opinion. You guys can disagree with me. I'm not a huge death metal fan. Everyone knows that. But as far as being an epic album, it is pretty epic. Because I do kind of, after listening, because I listened to that Possessed album. Sorry, forgot the title of it, which is bad on my part, but I'm like, that sounds like a black metal album to me. This is the guy that started all death metal right here. So he gets an 8. Why just an 8? Because a lot of the songs don't really stand out to me. But I give the dude credit. Hell, he sang, he played both guitars, played bass. Fuck, he was pretty much the entire band besides the drummer, so yeah. And 8's pretty good. I'm a hard ass. You know this. Alright. Last hooligan band. Remember when I said I was going to be objective and not be just a total asshole except for one? Well, this is the band. Good Charlotte, The Young and the Hopeless. This album is a pile of fucking shit. And I didn't just include it so I'd have some album that I could just totally shit on. Put it in there because, and this was on Wikipedia. I don't even know what it's up to now, but as of 2004, okay, that's 15 years ago. It had sold over 3.5 million copies. 3.5 million copies of this stupid fucking album. Okay, you got the Madden twins, the brothers, the singer and the guitarist, which is basically the equivalent of a gigantic pile of shit. These songs are so atrocious. This is the anthem, throw up your hands up. And I love it because they're riding their little bicycles. And I know what they're doing. They're like trying to be cool in the way they walk. Like walking down the street. Like they'd be cool with anybody. Dude, you couldn't hang out with black people. Not like me, because I know black people. Black people like me. You know why? Because I'm myself. I don't try to be somebody I'm not. First off, you guys aren't hard. Alright? You're fucking spoiled brats that grew up playing video games in your mom's basement. And then you write an album that... Lifestyles of the rich and the famous, always complaining, not yet complaining. Girls don't, boys don't like us, girls like cars and money. Oh my God, the lyrics are so fucking atrocious through this entire album. There's no guitar that stands out. The fucking drums are the same on every song. And it's the same bland, monotone fucking singer singing throughout every song. Na 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 na. I know I'm sounding like I put them in there so I could just totally. But when I saw the album sales, I had to fucking put them in there. This is an epic album. 3.5 million fucking people bought this album. 15 fucking, or whatever it was, 15, 16 years ago. And I'm pretty sure you were 15 or 16 at the time, so I'm not holding against you. I bought some stupid shit when I was that age. But now that you're 30, 31, 32, whatever age you are now, does this album hold up? Fuck no, it doesn't. Use this bitch as a coaster, this CD. All right? Wipe your ass with it. Yeah, this is just a horrible fucking album. And even the songs that try to get serious. Hold on when you feel like letting go. Oh, that's some original fucking lyricism. And I get it, man. Like, they're talking about people committing suicide. Listen, I'm not making fun of that. And somebody wants to write a song about that. But when you write a song and then it's fucking horrible, it defeats the whole purpose. It really does. Just a terrible fucking album. It's a 0. You know what? I take that back. Take that back. I'm giving it a 0.5 because as much as a dumpster fire as this piece of shit is, I would still rather listen to it than any emo album ever recorded. Holy fucking shit. That tells you how bad Taking Back Sunday is. All right, number 10, final album. And it's for the Headbangers. We finish off this podcast with the Headbangers. Ghost. And I hope I pronounced this right. 2010's Opus Eponymous. Ooh, I don't think I could fucking say that twice again if I tried. Holy shit, we're not going to either. I liked it. Not going to lie. I heard when they first came out, and I thought, okay, this is, they had the mask on, and it's different guys that are in the band, different singer each time, I guess. I don't know the whole backstory. I gotta admit, I was impressed with this album. It really surprised me. Deuce Kappa? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Lead track, it's all keyboards. Kind of Set you in, a little creepy, not super creepy, but the Ritual, nice guitar riff, just nice and crunchy, and the vocals very clear. Got that kind of the echoed voice going with the effects and stuff, but it sounds good with the music. Elizabeth, Satan's Prayer, prime mover, really nice bass line in there. I was honestly pleasantly surprised because it wasn't, it was catchy, but it was also heavy enough for me. I was like, well, they ain't a pussy band. You wouldn't listen to them and go, wow, these guys are super thrash, but they're heavy. And they sound nice. It's got good production. The singer sounds great. Good musicians. Catchy music. I'm not gonna lie. I like this album. I'm not gonna lie. I'm giving it a 9. How about that? A fucking 9 for Ghost. I wasn't expecting that. Because I've heard some of their music. I'm like, I don't know if I really like it or not. And then I heard this album. I'm like, fuck, it's kind of good. Every once in a while you get surprised, folks. So what's that mean? Don't listen to everything I say, just 96.8% of what I say. So, there you go. 10 epic albums. That's how I feel. Just my perception. And listen, none of them suck except for one. Okay? It's just, I don't think some of them are as great as what everybody says they are. All right. You were entertained. And I guarantee you, that's a lot better than that football game will be. Just saying. All right. Take it easy. And if it's easy, take it twice, my friends. I'm out.